Hi, Grant Soliven with the Financial Enhancement Group, and welcome to Elements in Focus. I have the wonderful, amazing, brilliant Aaron Rheaume with me, Director of Financial Planning for the firm. Could not be more blessed to have his genius on our team, along with our managing partner, Joe Clark. And Aaron, when we come on to Elements in Focus, a couple things we're looking at. We call them our 5 critical elements, but what that means is we're looking at specific areas where we find families' financial situations get wrecked. Now, we believe that success is not dependent on one thing, but failure can be. And so these are the 5 areas where we break down situations that could absolutely wreck the financial freedom that you're willing or you're trying to obtain and build. Today we're going to focus on risk management in life happens. And I hate how you even have to talk about this, but it is a reality of our life, right, Aaron?
Unfortunately.
And you and I have seen, unfortunately, many spouses predecease one another. It's part of our job. It's what we do. And when it comes to this, it is arguably one of the hardest emotional experiences outside of losing a child to live through. And especially when we get later in life, there's just not a lot that we prepare for culturally for this. And so what are some of the things that we're looking out for our families, Aaron, when it comes to this situation?
First and foremost, we want to be a source of comfort for the families that are that we're working with, because it is such a difficult time. I've lived it. I have not lived losing my spouse. My wife is still alive and well.
Right.
I've watched my dad lose a spouse.
Yes.
My mom passed away 20 years ago, and so there's a very difficult time that you go through. Our job as the advisors is to help navigate the financial waters and even the life issues of losing a spouse. And so we hear all the time, Grant, is if a spouse passes away, do nothing for 6 months.
Right.
That's okay, but it's not okay from a financial standpoint. I mean, do nothing for 6 months. There's grieving. I mean, all of that stuff, making sure you're surrounded by loved ones, that stuff is very important, but there's financial situations or financial things that can arise to where time is of the essence. And so, there's times where you have to get certain things done prior to year end. And so I'll let you elaborate a little bit on that. But what I don't want folks to feel like is, they have to sit and wait on some of that stuff.
Right. And where Aaron's correct, where we try to tell families, you don't want to make any drastic decisions when going through grieving. And unfortunately, we've seen certain quote unquote professionals, I won't name them, in our industry, prey on that I wouldn't say weakness, but that grieving, that's the pain that comes in your life there. And where we focus a lot of our time is we try to take the financial burden that this leaves our families off the plate so they can grieve properly. And a lot of families we work with have set up their plans for this. They've been prepared. And so it's our job really just to enact a plan to relieve that pressure. The other thing is, and if you've been listening to us for a while, you know it's coming, the tax code. The tax code does not grieve with you, and unfortunately, it's designed to take more from you and in the event of losing a spouse. So preparing for this event is super important. For those of our families that work with us, they know what the plan is. We have it there. We're enabled to enact it. For those of you that are watching and looking for resources, if you go to yourlifeafterwork.com, click on our checklists. We do have checklists available for families who have lost a spouse or have a spouse that's terminally ill, to kind of start preparing you for that situation. A couple things you wouldn't think about. Make sure you have all the login information from your significant other's, not just bank information, if one was the control of the finances versus the other, but social media, right? That's such a big part of our lives. And I'll be honest with you, when you lose that, you can't get back in. It's tough.
Yeah.
Facebook does not take a death certificate.
One of the things that you had mentioned, Grant, is going back to the tax code. The biggest thing that can happen is you lose the ability to have married filing jointly on your tax return. And when a spouse passes away the following year, you have to file as a single filer unless there's a remarriage. Traditionally, that doesn't happen right away, but so brackets from a tax standpoint get significantly compressed.
Correct.
And a lot of times what we see does not go away are pension dollars that are coming in, Social Security incomes, rental incomes, things from an income standpoint
RMDs
are
big.
still coming in, and the loss of a spouse with those brackets compressed generally puts them in a higher tax bracket. And so we try to help prepare for that ahead of time, making sure beneficiaries are correct, making sure that we're doing the Roth conversion strategies that we talk about. If you're working with us at Financial Enhancement Group, we are helping create and prepare a plan for those situations when they arise. And as I mentioned earlier, our job is not to alleviate any of the grieving process. It's to help through the financial portion of losing a spouse.
Absolutely. And if you're entering a time in life where you're looking for that kind of service, you're looking for a team that is a fiduciary, meaning we legally have to put our needs above yours and act as if we're in your situation with the exact same amount of money, reach out to us, 800-928-4001, yourlifeafterwork.com. Reach out to the team. Aaron, myself, or one of our other team members, our advisors, will help you through and plan through the situation. If you're looking for more content, you're always welcome to dive into some of our longer segments that go through this at Consider This Program on all the podcasting sites listed below. And you can listen to us on the radio shows of the four below. So I know this is not an easy, fun topic to discuss, but it's one that we have to talk about. I mean, Aaron, you and I are dealing with this in 3 families already for the time of this recording before year end. So don't delay. Work with a trusted team that will help you along the way. And if you have any questions, let us know. We'll be here for you. Thanks for taking the time, and we'll see you next time.